18 this morning. We're dealing with damage reports from last night, but we're also dealing with one more day of heat, which is why we're weather impacted.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to be another hot one today. Still humid, still feeling that mugginess as you step out the door and start off your day. And this afternoon, not going to be really much different than what we had yesterday afternoon. Strong storms expected overnight tonight as we go into mainly after midnight. Not as strong as what we had last night in northern Iowa, but still it's going to lead to some heavy rain along with some gusty, strong and potentially isolated damaging winds. But we are going to be dealing with more rain in the forecast as we go in the next 48 hours. Let's talk about what to expect throughout the day. First off, storm and rain free throughout the rest of this morning going into the afternoon. Feel like temperatures already back to the 90s over the lower 2/3 of the state. As far as areas north of Highway 20, you're not going to quite see the intense heat like what we're seeing south of that mark, because we are still going to be looking at around 100 to around 105 is where those peak heat index values will climb. Even farther to the southwest can be a little bit hotter than that. But as we go in the evening and overnight, we start to drop those heat index values, and we're going to start to watch storms move back in, and that's going to lead to that heavy rain. As far as the rain we've seen over the past 12 hours, we didn't see anything here across Des Moines, but farther north, a little bit. You're talking hundreds of an inch in Ames and Boone. Out towards Grinnell, around an inch of rain, and then even as we went to Marshalltown, around half an inch. Farther north, this has to be because those strong winds probably caused power outages, knocked out that rain gauge in Algona. I've been getting reports close to around an inch that way. And that's kind of what we saw as far as the more impressive totals with this storm that pushed on through. Of course, very strong gusty winds, but about as far as the rain, it added on to about an inch at the heaviest in some spots, maybe close to around an inch and a half. Speaking of the rainfall totals, this is what we've seen over the Julys in the past and also this year. We are now in the top 5 as far as the wettest Julys on record. Top 10 are on your screen. And with more rain on the way, not only are we looking at eclipsing the 1993 July total, but we are looking at a chance of taking just the overall #1 spot when we're all said and done. As far as the radar right now, clearing skies. We're going to see more sunshine that'll warm us up as we go through the rest of today. That's why weather impact can be another hot and humid one. Jumping into tonight at midnight and onward, we're going to see these storm chances climb, especially off in western Iowa. West of I-35 is where they're going to be starting from. Then 4 o'clock onward, they'll be moving into central Iowa along the I-35 corridor. 6, 7 o'clock, heavy rain with this, some gusty winds as well. Again, we'll be looking at some isolated stronger wind gusts with those. But it's not just one round of storms and heavy rain. It's going to be multiple rounds. So that's why we are going to be monitoring that flood threat, both flash flooding and river flooding, as we go through the rest of Wednesday, and then we'll dry things out going into Thursday. As far as the severe weather threat, 2 out of 5 chance. That's going to be mainly in western Iowa, moving into parts of central Iowa. But jumping into the overall rain totals that we are going to see, it's going to be a lot. 1 to 3 inches of rain. Some isolated spots close around 3 to 5 inches. Again, that'll be very few and far between, but still a possibility with the multiple rounds of storms that we're expecting. Then drying things out. Monitoring river flood levels, however, as we go through the rest of today. It takes time for that runoff to collect in the rivers, but we are at least going to deal with more comfortable conditions Thursday through Sunday.